This is the true story of 32 strangers.
Picked to work in an office.
And have their lives changed.
Find out what happens
when people stop being polite
and start being real.
People compare my reign to a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but joke's on them. I mean, ever watch Jurassic Park? Who eats the velociraptors? The Tyrannosaurus Rex. Who's chasing after the vehicle? Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm on top of the food chain. There's a lot worse animals to be compared to. Do I really run like an aardvark? No. But Tyrannosaurus Rex, do I go eat that meat? Do I just kill things? Yeah, I do. So I don't care. Joke's on them.
It's like Eminem and
yeah, so like, I don't know, one of the things we always talk about is I guess like people talk about bromances. I mean, I guess there's bromances. I mean, like, Dom's a pretty good friend of mine. I mean, it's not weird. I mean, it's not like we like, you know, eat dinner together every night. I mean, so what? We go to like Chipotle like, you know, once, maybe like 3 or 4 times a week. That's not weird, right? You know, although it is good to see that, you know, there are like other bromances, like I guess forming the battalion. You know, that's cool.
We tried just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I.
Time to say goodbye. Paesi che non ho mai veduto e vissuto con.
And ever since I turned over the color guard, I'm really gonna miss those guys. Here I am, just, you know, drowning my sorrows out in ice cream, but it's not helping. Already down to vanilla bean pint, some chocolate stuff, and some Neapolitan. The whole year, all I had wanted to do was, you know, be an assistant S3 position, do nothing, enjoy my freaking senior year, but no, here I am, a platoon leader. Just kept being my math sergeant all year long. Just keep being bothered. Oh, you have a new cadet, surprise. I find out 10 weeks after everybody else in the chain of command does, so I can't help them. But hey, I'm responsible for everything that they're missing. It's just, this year sucked. I'm really glad I'm commissioning.
If anything, there, put it out. You can put it out too. If anybody has any, if she has.
Okay, so everyone says Master Sergeant Springer plays favorite with the nurses, but I don't really see it. I mean, he treats us like everyone else. But yeah, we do get off for clinical from PTs. And yeah, we do get late transfer to the JFTX and to training. And so what? We don't have to wear a uniform to class. I mean, we're nurses. We save lives. You guys should be happy that we're in RTC with you because one day we'll be taking care of you. Alright?
So here's the thing about being an MS4PL. Everyone always just thinks, oh, you know, something's going wrong, let's just blame the PLs. Just typical response, you know. And then it's just, everything is like our fault all the time. And, you know, Master Sergeant Springer, I wish that he would love us like he would love the nurses, right? Like, he just gives them so much attention, and I want that attention. It's just not, it's not fair. Thanks, man.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I got ice cream.
So, here I am, just lowly Cadet S3, you know, learning proper op procedures, learning my operational terms and graphics, you know, spend pretty much my entire month locked in Mortal Kombat with Microsoft PowerPoint and trying my hardest not to drop kick my computer out the window. Major Steinhagen is trying to make me ensure that everyone gets enough water that their piss don't even turn the slightest shade of yellow out in the field.
Hoya. 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 All right, Mr. Gray. Hydration. What do these three groups on the board represent? Bueller? Bueller? 1. Babylon, Tigris and Euphrates. Egypt, the Nile. Rome, the Tiber. Each one of these empires understood the intrinsic value of hydration, liquids, and water supply. Each one of these civilizations was a great empire. We as leaders in the United States Army have to understand the intrinsic responsibility we have to facilitate our people with water supply. Urine, yellow, bad. Urine, clear, good.
And you know what? Even then, all these special forces operators want to be just end up passing out in the middle of land, of course, with 2 empty canteens because they didn't think that maybe they should drink some water. We got Cadet U, who thinks that we're going to the field for swim lessons or panda hunting. You know, Bradley sitting in the corner, his ACU blouse is inside out. He's got a hickey on his forehead. You know, Cadet Taylor's over there trying to get his runtime up in the middle of op board briefing. And Cadet Pryor's been in the back corner eating a box of Krispy Kreme donuts.
Mr. Delmonico, I have a few questions for you. Paintballs, CO2 tanks. When you're thinking about paintballs, you got to be thinking about a few things. The weight of the paintballs and the CO2 tanks. What's the combined weight of these two things put together? We've got to be thinking about physics. Well, then again, if we're thinking about physics, we have to be thinking about Sir Isaac Newton, all right? Prisms of light, calculus. Do you know it? If you don't, this is just not going to work out. Also, what is the dates of our training? We have to be thinking, all right, are we working on the Julian calendar or the Gregorian calendar? Rome, Julian. Present day, Gregorian. What are we working on? That's a failure as a leadership if you're inherently on the wrong date for training. Think about these things.
Okay, so during the briefing, Major Steinhagen's all like, what are you thinking about where you're going to put the gas cans? Are they going to go under the bus? Did we clear that with the drivers? How many paintballs are we bringing? No, sir, I didn't get a chance to count them. And guess what? Lab 6, I put the gas cans under the bus. And guess what? You know, the bus didn't explode or anything. No one thinks about any of these ridiculous solutions to all these field problems.
You know, what's great about this year is, you know, with the new Colonel Donahue, great guy. You know, MS class this year, it's just, if there's one word I can think about it, it's probably respect. You know, everyone respects each other.
Oh, man, I got this. All right. Basically, the class is it's just incredibly enlightened and respectful, and just like the level that we're taking the liberal ideal of equality to in the class is just, it just blows my mind sometimes just how accepting and, you know, balanced the class is from a philosophical standpoint.
Yeah, no, man, well said. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself.
There's some things I need to get off my chest. Cultural awareness in this battalion. I'm Korean, you know, there's Chinese people, there's Korean people, you know. Cultural awareness is one of the things in the Army, man. Like,
hey, Gogly! Put that cigarette out!
Hey, you I'm Gordon, I'm Korean, man.
What?
Any questions on this?
Sir, I had a question.
Iger, what the hell you want?
Sure. I understand what you're saying. It makes sense in the context that you were talking about, but one quick thing. Why don't you have a Ranger tab? I mean, it'd be understandable if you were like a female, if you didn't have a Ranger tab. I mean, that makes sense, but, you know, am I right, guys? I think that just kind of came off, you know, a little bit wrong, you know, because I'm not a sexist. I mean, I had a couple girlfriends back in high school, and, you know, whenever I said, make me a sandwich, you know, they'd go and do it for me. And let me clarify. I mean, this is really, essentially what I'm trying to say is, Ranger School, all right, for those of you who don't know, right, there's a tab that goes right here, R-A-N-G-E-R, okay, and everyone that I've seen that has one, it's pretty much a male. Let me put it this way, my run time, all right, is like a 13:30, hovering around there, and most females run like sub-17s. I mean, come on, right?
I go, what the f? Now I have to go fix this.
Let me be your hero. Would you dance if I asked you to dance?
So this morning, the strangest thing happened. You know, we did our Lab 6 rehearsal, which is a pretty intense rehearsal. And so obviously I had a lot to discuss with Cadet Weidinger. And every time I would walk over to him, he'd instantly leave and bolt to the other side of the rehearsal. And I'm like, what the heck, man? I seriously have stuff to talk to you about. But I also don't understand why he seems to be avoiding me. And it made me think over the past like week and a half or so, like he really just hasn't even been talking to me at all. He hasn't been answering my text messages, which I send like 5 a day, it seems. And then he hasn't been responding to my emails. The only emails that I get are like one-liners about forward this memo up. But I don't get why he's not talking to me. And it got me thinking today, and the only thing I can think of is that it has something to do with Cadet Pisano. But other than that, I have no idea. I don't know what I did.
Would you run and never look back? Would you cry if you saw me crying? And would you save my soul tonight?
You're right. I mean, I just don't know why I'm married to think that I can be a strong female in the military. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, he's kind of right, you know?
How can you say that? It doesn't make any sense.
I'm sorry. I'm just like clearly stressed. I mean, dealing with Alex Yu this entire year. I mean, seriously, the dude cannot do a PT plan, and it's May now. Like, what the f?
Do you want to talk about it?
What's there to talk about? I mean, he loses stuff every lab. And then we have like Kohlenberg, and we have Iyengar, and they're trying to sleep outside in nothing, and it's like 20 degrees out, and the colonel's getting all over my ass at it. It's like, Just have to deal with idiots all day.
You sound really stressed.
I know, it's like...
So JC vented to me again today, right? I don't know why he has to come chasing me when I'm upset, right? I was the one getting pissed off at Iyengar, but no, I have to hear about JC's problems all the time. I don't know why he thinks I care. I don't want to hear it. I'm sick of it. I'm tired and I don't care about his problems.
You know, it's just nice to know that, you know, Mary really cares about me. I mean, she listened to everything I had to say. She listened to me about Alex Yu, she listened to me about Gray, then she listened to me about Alex Yu again, Iyengar, Kohlenberg. I mean, she really cared about how much those guys irritated me. I mean, it's really nice, you know, having someone that cares what you think. Yeah. Railroad Company. Speak louder. I can't hear you. Still can't hear you. Almost. One more decimal.
I really don't know why everybody says that I talk so quietly. I mean,
All right, S1.
You all know me, Cadet Captain Armstrong, S1. Moving on, as usual, our numbers for the battalion haven't changed. Let's move on. Okay, here we go. Tinder slides for the week. We got our AU top players right here. Dominic Cellini, Joey DiBartolomeo, and Brandon Paquette. Up-and-comers, Matt DeBella, Christopher Stillwell, and Zachary Hinch. Moving on. Cadet Thomas Kellogg, newly single. Ladies, keep an eye out for that. Tyler Stanky, not such a great name. I've seen him at Sign of the Whale a few times, and I don't know how he's gotten in there. Moving on. Kyle Gaines. Man, this brings me to my next slide. Here we go. Kyle Gaines' Lulu profile. As you can see here, 8.6, it's a really high score. But let's see what the ladies actually think about him. Okay, he's a great listener. That's a good characteristic for an Army officer, but gold digger? What are you? Gaines, what the hell? Moving on. Joey DiBartolomeo. This is a problem in our battalion. Why do we have so many man-children? I mean, Gray was a man-child too, what the hell? Average score 7.0, that's pretty low. Moving on, Kevin Dwyer. Shockingly, he actually has a higher score than DBART at a 7.3. He actually has a lot of hashtags in the positives, which is actually pretty shocking.
S5. S5. Where the is Frank?
2, 3. Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank. Do it. Do it, Frank. Do it, Frank.
Okay, so I guess this is confession time, all right? Not quite sure where to begin. I guess to start, I got to admit that between Springer and I, we had no idea what we're doing this year. I mean, I think we were able to fake it. I mean, thank God most of these cadets are so freaking self-centered and oblivious to everything else that's going around them that I don't really think they know what's right and what's wrong. You know, I think Weidiger might have been catching on, but he seems to be a little bit distracted lately. He's got something else maybe on his mind. He's got this kind of happy-go-lucky look right now. I'm not quite sure what's going on with him, but he better fix that before he joins the infantry. Second, and this is a little hard to admit, you know, because in 21 years I don't think I've ever done anything wrong in the Army. And failure is really not a Donahue trait. But I really got to admit, I kind of wanted to kick a lot more of these seniors out before commissioning. And I think it's a personal failure on my part that I haven't been able to call that heard. You know, tried to make them sleep outside in the rain, make them sleep outside in the snow, sub-zero temperatures. Really, the only people who freaking quit on me were a couple of cadre members. But, you know, what are you going to expect from aviators? You know, I tried tobacco deprivation, you know, kind of worked, but they snuck it underneath the radar a couple of times. Public humiliation is always a personal favorite of mine. You know, people think they just have a sense of humor. No, I'm really kind of mean. But, you know, it came across as a sense of humor, so I'm going to have to work on that next year. And then I failed a couple on the research papers. I mean, good Lord, I have to admit, making the seniors write 20-page research papers may have been hard on them. It was harder on me because they cannot write. And that was really more pain. It was self-inflicted. But anyway, there's too many of them squeak through. You know, so it's kind of embarrassing. But on the bright side, you know, what is it? Got about 2 more weeks. Kind of cull the herd a little bit. You know, get rid of some of those little bastards before they go out in the Army and screw it up. You know, and more importantly, I learned a lot for next year's class. So these MS3s are going to have a rude awakening when they come back from camp. I'm going to them up. Okay. I bet by the end of LTS in August, I could have Meathead crying. Sir, sir, I promise. Just let me go. So, I don't know. I can't think of anything else that I did wrong. You know, I mean, maybe I was a little bit too nice. You know, maybe I was misunderstood. No.
Con los terroristas.